guy, the shooting guard, and Caldwell Pope, who nobody appreciated. Do you think the Lakers would rather have those two young stallions as opposed to doing what they did? I think they would be right back in more of a player for a chip if they had that infusion of youth and bodies.
Yeah, I don't think
they did it wrong. They overthought it and overreacted to last year.
Full of shit.
They still got something left.
What's the 26 and 31? The Lakers?
Yeah.
If they no Westbrook is like they have Kuzma. 20 years.
Yo. Man,
It's around LeBron and Anthony Davis. And I see that's why I'm not washing my hands up. I didn't get to listen to you and JD, but did that come up?
Smoking, baby.
Is he that?
No, seriously,
check this out, dog. So, my bad, man. I had to do a part 2 of my Super Bowl 56 episode because in my last, and this stream looked like it's tripping, so it might, cut off or whatever. I don't know what the fuck this shit is about, but in my last stream, I had mentioned that I was getting ready to get off that live because my phone was getting ready to die, and I totally forgot about it. Totally forgot about it. And my phone cut off on me. My phone died on me. Right when I was getting ready to get to the Super Bowl halftime part of the Super Bowl that which I want to talk about. I want to talk about the halftime show and all them legends. But before I got to that, I was just getting ready to explain how what I was saying was how I'm listening to Sports Talk Radio, Bay Area Sports Talk Radio, 95.7 The Game, and they talk about the Rams, the Super Bowl, and how the Rams, and how the fact that the Rams winning the Super Bowl, since this is Bay Area, we don't talk about the Bay Area team. So they talking about how the Rams winning the Super Bowl, what does that mean for, for the San Francisco 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, and, is Kyle on the clock now because the team in his division won the Super Bowl and all that other shit, right? So they talking about all that, and a caller had called in saying how, talking about us going forward next year, the Niners, and basically saying how, and this is something I agree with, basically saying how, he don't feel like and this is a Niner fan talking, he don't feel like we, the Niners, are going to be back in the same position that we was this year, or the type of team that we can be with Jimmy G. And I totally agree with that. Like, it's just not gonna happen, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, we getting ready to take a step or two back. Now maybe it's a step, maybe we taking a step or two back to make a step, to take a step or two forward in a few years. But we getting ready to take a little step back, bro. It's just going to happen. You know what I mean? Just because what Trey Lance has is over Jimmy G is, all the physical attributes. Not necessarily throwing the football, but maybe throwing it farther. Maybe he got a stronger or a deeper arm. You know what I mean? But Jimmy Garoppolo has a strong arm too. You know what I'm saying? He got a quick release as well. You know what I'm saying? And so what I'm talking about more is more of the physical attributes, like being able to, if you get into a little trouble in the pocket, you can scramble. You know what I mean? And get out of trouble's way a little bit. And like I said, the fact that his arm may be a little more powerful. I'm not talking about from a accuracy standpoint. You know what I'm saying? Like a pinpoint throw standpoint, but just the fact that he got a strong, powerful arm that he could flick that thing and wing it down the field probably a little better than Jimmy G. But that's kind of like not the most important thing. I mean, that's you want to have that. It's great if you have that, but if you take the two who most football fans, most sports fans would consider to be the two greatest quarterbacks of all time, Tom Brady and Joe Montana, they're widely known for not having the strongest arms. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, not saying that they can't throw deep balls and all that shit. Obviously they can. We've seen that throughout their whole careers. But that like I said, that strong, powerful kind of like, deep arm. You know what I mean? Like I'll use this for an example. Maybe this is a bad example because of how bad a player that he was. You know what I mean? Or maybe how bad a player that he was because he didn't apply himself. Because I think anybody that make it to the league, to any professional, can, if you work hard enough, you can get the best out of your attributes. But I'll use this as an example. Jamarcus Russell. Jamarcus Russell is somebody that, if I'm not mistaken, from his knees was able to throw it like 60, 70 yards or some crazy shit like that. Like he had a big arm, a really big arm, but he didn't have it all here. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, the work ethic and all that. So I know now I'm not comparing Trey Lance to Jamarcus Russell. I would say he's already better than him. You know what I'm saying? And I know he has a good work ethic. Basically, what I'm saying, and me bringing up Tom Brady and Joe Montana, I'm trying to make the point that the two best quarterbacks of all time didn't have that big rocket arm. You know what I mean? Like I said, they can throw the ball deep, but not that big rocket arm throwing it 70, 80 yards down the field and all that other shit. But the one thing that they did have, they're pinpoint accurate, and they two of the most cerebral quarterbacks of all fucking time. They know what the fuck going on out there when you line up. Before the plays even snap, they can identify what the fuck going on, what the defense is doing, and where they need to go with the football. Those are the types of things that it's going to take Trey Lance some time to learn that. I mean, it has to. He's a rookie. And even going into next year, even though he will technically be a second-year player, he got in a few games. He probably played maybe 4 or 5 games, but he started 2 games. And yeah, man, it's not gonna be, we're not just gonna pick up where we left off. We not. With Jimmy G, we would and we could. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean ultimately that Trey Lance won't be better than Jimmy G. You know what I mean? Down the line, 2-3 years down the line. You know what I'm saying? But we just don't know that. And that's why, for me, I wouldn't let Jimmy G go, but they did all the talking. They got to do it now. I mean, it's, he's technically still on the roster at this point, but, from everything I'm hearing, he's basically gone. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, and how it relates to the Rams, because they were talking about if the Niners are going to be able to surpass the Rams now. I mean, they, before this season, before this playoff run, you know what I mean? It wasn't anything, the Rams wasn't anything that we had to pass or get through or anything like that, but they just won the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? So everything changes now. They were saying before the Rams beat the Niners, they were saying that Kyle Shanahan is in Sean McVay's head. Is Kyle Shanahan in Sean McVay's head and all of that other shit? Like, we have beat them 6 straight times. he only beat us that last time, but it was the most important one. It was a playoff game. And then not only did he beat us, he went on to win the Super Bowl. So winning that type of game, it changes it changes what's the word? It just changes the overall way you're looked at. You know what I mean? When you win a game like that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like the Super Bowl. So they just saying how, they're asking, hey, now are we going to be able to surpass the Rams? And looking forward, it's saying, okay, everything else on our team is going to be the same. Not the same, like, we're not going to try to get better, but I mean, as far as like, we have all the other except for the secondary. They still need to address that secondary and cornerbacks. Address that shit. Embry Thomas at the end of the year, he was coming on, so I fucks with him. Plus, he was a rookie. I think he can be a good fit. I think he is a good fit for us going forward. You know what I mean? But they need to keep adding on to it. Outside of that, though, everything else on every other aspect of our team is basically solid. You know what I mean? Outside the secondary and the like I said, the quarterback position that I'm talking about now. So not that it's not, but it's just, so how I look at it is right now, at least this upcoming year, I'm telling you right now, I don't expect, I'm not saying that we can't beat the Rams in the they not all of a sudden unbeatable or something just because they won the Super Bowl. No, they're totally not. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to all of a sudden become like this fucking dynasty or some shit. But what I'm saying is the move that if we came back with Jimmy G, I feel like we could beat him. We could beat him both times we play him this year. But the fact that our quarterback is going to be so young and so inexperienced, you know what I mean? It's gonna be some learning curves, and with learning curves, that means that we're probably not going to be 12-5 or 13-4 or 11-6 or something like that. I see us being more around 6-11, 7-10. You know what I'm saying? No greater than something like 8-9 or something like that. 9-8 at the most. That's just what that's what I expect. That's what I'm going into the 2022 season as a 49ers fan expecting. You know what I'm saying? I'm expecting mediocrity. You know what I mean? And it may be even worse than that. Because, just having athleticism and all that, that's not, that's cool. If you can add that onto a quarterback that's cerebral and like I said, accurate. That's what it's all about, man. Playing a quarterback position, you know what I mean? You got to have it all right here. You got to be able to make the necessary throws on third downs and squeeze, throws into tight areas and shit like that, and be accurate. And that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? If you can have the athleticism on top of that, then that's when you can become a supernova. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. But that's where I'm at with it. That was the thing that I wanted to say at the end of that last live, where, I'm listening to them, you know what I mean? And, 95-7 the game, and they just, it's, like I said, not saying that the Rams is finna be like this unbeatable team. No, they just a team that won the Super Bowl this year. You know what I'm saying? If I had to put my money on it, they're not winning the Super Bowl next year. And that ain't got nothing to do with me being a 49ers fan or thinking because I don't think we're going to win the Super Bowl next year either. But I don't think the Rams gonna win it again. They will be in contention. You know what I'm saying? They'll be one of the final 14 teams to make the playoffs and shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to go back to back in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Look at the Bucks. The Bucks brought everybody back. All 22 starters came back, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? And they went out in the second round. You know what I mean? So it's not guaranteed. You know what I mean? They not just unbeatable. But like I said, what we're doing to combat that is, I think we're they gonna come back with they quarter, they gonna come back with all they niggas, depending on what happened with OBJ. I know if depending on what happened, if he gets signed by somebody else, depending on what happened, what type of injury he got, because he got hurt. They saying it might be an ACL. It looked like an ACL. That's usually what happens. It was a non-contact injury. Nobody would touch him. He just kind of tweaked his knee and went down. It looked, and then when I seen the replay, it kind of looked like he rolled his ankle. You know what I mean? From a different angle when I seen it. You know what I'm saying? But so that's what it kind of looked at. But then he was grabbing at his knee. So I don't know. But they basically saying it's possible that could be an ACL. If so, he out for the whole year next year. He at least December or something like that. That's basically the whole year. The playoffs start in January. So if it's an ACL, he basically out for the whole year. So we'll see what happened with that. But outside of that, then you got Robert Woods. He got Robert Woods, their second, the Los Angeles Rams number 2 receiver behind Cooper Kupp, and he tore his ACL the day they traded for Odell Beckham Jr. Hodell Beckham. You feel me? The day, or it was either the day they traded for him or the day that he showed up for like his first practice. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what it was. The day that was OBJ's first practice with the Los Angeles Rams, Robert Woods got hurt and was out for the season. But he should be ready for the start of the season. You know what I mean? From where he injured it, because he's already been out for what, like 2 months now. So the season just ended yesterday, and so you got 6 months until the season starts. But 6 months to the season start, but obviously, you got the preseason that starts a month before that, and training camp and OTAs and all that shit. So, I mean, he might miss the first few weeks of the season, but basically Robert Woods will be back at some point in the 2022 season. So they're gonna have him back. And then they talking about, I'm hearing rumors about Aaron Donald. He talking about he may retire and all that. I don't believe that. You know what I mean? Never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know, but I don't see it. But once you start talking about it and letting it enter your brain, you know what I mean, and he hearing all the talk about it, he know what everybody say about him, that he one of the greatest defensive players of all time, and now he just won a Super Bowl. I don't know. He might get a little satisfied, you know what I mean? And even if you come back, you might not be as hungry now. You know what I'm saying? See, somebody like me winning championships and all that, that'll make me want more. I'd be like Brady or something. I would just want more and more and more and more and more and more. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that obviously I can't win them all, but winning one gonna make me want to win another. Winning the second one make me want to win the third, and so on and so forth. That's just how I am. So, but everybody not like that. Not saying Aaron Donald ain't like that, but it's already, it's already rumors about it. Stream tripping. It's already rumors about this nigga possibly wanting to retire. They was asking him about it, and he's sitting there, he talking about he just gonna enjoy the moment right now and this and that. Obviously, he ain't gonna sit there and say it right there last night, like, nah, I'm not retiring, or yeah, I am gonna retire. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you leave it, leave a little suspense for the people. But if I had to put some money on it or whatever, you know what I mean? I don't see him retiring. Um, so you got that. The Rams is gonna come back next year, basically, the same team. You know what I mean? And so they might lose a player or two. You know what I mean? But they probably gonna gain a player or two as well. So they gonna be right there. We don't know what's gonna happen with the Seahawks. You know what I mean? And then you got the Cardinals. They kind of all of a sudden is in turmoil. They talking about Kyler Murray is tripping over there or some shit, and he ain't happy over there. He axed out of the game against the playoff game against the Rams a couple weeks ago, with like a minute left. Once when the game was, because they was getting blown out, and all this other shit. So I don't know, but look like it's some turmoil over there. So we'll see. Right now in our division, depending on what happened with Kyler Murray, and depending on what happens with Russell Wilson in Seattle, it's about the Rams and the Niners in the NFC West right now. But like I said, for us, we're taking a little bit of a step back because we're going with youth, you know what I mean, at the quarterback position over basically, somebody that we kind of know what they are or whatever. So, like I said, I see us being a mediocre team next year, and yeah, that's just what like. Hey, I hope I'm wrong. I hope the fuck I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? That would be a pleasant surprise. I would be pleasantly surprised. You know what I'm saying? But I think our team is overall good enough to where we, like I said, we can get at least 7 or 8. 6, 7, 8 wins. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna be like the fucking one of these bottom feeders, like 1-16 or 2-15 or some shit like that. But I believe we'll still be, even with Lance, we probably be still good enough to get about 7 or 8 wins. You know what I'm saying? Probably more like 7. That's what I'm. That's just where I'm at. Like 7 or 8 wins next season. Like I said, hopefully I'm wrong. But and if that happens, then I'm telling you right now, I said it in some of my previous lives, some of my other episodes, like a lot of these Niner fans that was hating on Jimmy G, what they gonna be talking about is, man, we should have kept Jimmy G. Man. At least we was winning and this and that, blah blah blah. Nah. Nah, y'all ready to move on. This man got to, out of all, he's the second highest ranking, I believe, QBR rated quarterback in our franchise. I think only Joe Montana has a higher QBR or QB rating or whatever than Joe Montana is the only one that's the only quarterback in the history of the 49ers that has a better QBR than Jimmy Garoppolo. We've had Steve Young as well, Hall of Fame quarterback, Jeff Garcia, Colin Kaepernick. So, I mean, Jimmy G did pretty well for us in what, 4.5 years? In 4.5 years, and in the 2 seasons where he was basically healthy, he missed 2 games this year, but that was, he played through. In the 2 seasons that he was healthy, we made a Super Bowl appearance and an NFC Championship appearance, and both the games that we lost probably should have won. I mean, we didn't win, so motherfuckers, how can you say you probably should have won if you lost? Blah blah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. in the Super Bowl, up 17-7 against the Chiefs 2 years ago in the fourth quarter and ended up losing. Now we up 17-7, and all of a sudden they ended up with more points than us. But somehow everybody blaming Jimmy G when he don't play no defense. He didn't give up no points. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give up no points. You know what I'm saying? I'm not just trying to blame the defense either. I'm saying it go both ways. You win as a team, you lose as a team. So just like the defense was playing well earlier in the game to hold them to the 7 points that they had for the first 3.5 quarters, they also didn't hold them for the last half of the fourth quarter. You know what I mean? To where they ended up outscoring. They ended up I think the final score was 31-20. So they basically scored like 3 touchdowns, bro, in the last 7-8 minutes of that game. You know what I'm saying? And that 3rd and 15, I heard something, man, that just made me drop my head and shake my head. In the Super Bowl, there has only been two times in NFL Super Bowl history where there have been a completion of 3rd and 15 or longer in the history of the game, of the Super Bowl. And the last time was the Niners. 3rd and 15, we up 17-7. This nigga Patrick Mahomes dropped back like 15 yards, you know what I mean, and just like throw a wobbly ass punt kind of throw up there. And somehow this wasn't one of them plays where, because Tyreek Hill, I was about to say Santonio Holmes, because Tyreek Hill is the fastest motherfucker in the league, okay, and he fast as fuck, cheetah, okay, but this wasn't one of those plays where he just outran the whole fucking secondary. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a play where it was like basically Patrick Mahomes like threw up a punt. And somehow this nigga like came down with it, and like no defender was nowhere near around him. Like, how? Like, the ball was in the air. Like, what the fuck was you niggas doing? How do this nigga get so wide open in this moment? That's what I don't understand. You know what I mean? When it comes to these Kyle Shanahan coached teams. In those moments, you feel me? You've been doing well the whole game. And all of a sudden, in the moments where we need it most, you can't do it when you've been doing it all game. But that's just a little example I say about they want to blame Jimmy G, but they don't talk about 21 points being scored in the last fucking 6-7 minutes of the game and shit. That ain't got nothing to do with Jimmy G. You know what I'm saying? So, but my point in saying that is that we was up 17-7 in the fourth quarter. We probably should have won that game. You know what I mean? If a few other decisions are made or a few other bounces go our way or whatever. Some people may say, oh, if Jimmy G hit that, connect on that pass, whatever. You could say that too. Whatever. But even if that's true, it ain't just that. You know what I'm saying? And another thing about that is that wasn't just some fucking wide open. He had like a step on the receiver. It wasn't just like he was like wide open and Jimmy G, like Jimmy G kind of had to throw it like that tonight. If he would have underthrew him, it would have been intercepted. You know what I'm saying? Like that would have had to been like a like teardrop kind of throw. You know what I'm saying? To where you still had to bomb it, but at the same time you had to teardrop it in. It had to be perfect. It's a lot of quarterbacks that would have missed that. It's a lot of quarterbacks the same quarterbacks that would have probably completed that pass. If they got to throw that pass 10 times, maybe they complete it 5 out of 10 times, 4 out of 10 times, 6 out of 10 times. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So, but it wasn't just that. But the Super Bowl, we could have won that. Same thing with this last game. NFC Championship, we was up 17-7 in the fourth quarter. So I'm just saying, like I said, I never had said Jimmy G was Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, and I gotta rethink that Aaron Rodgers shit, because but he is great. He is all-time great, and he had at least won a Super Bowl, so and gotten to 3 consecutive NFC Championship games before this year. So, but I'm just saying, because since they won that Super Bowl, he done had a lot of failures. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, for the type of quarterback that he is, you know what I mean? But anyway, never said Jimmy G was that all-time great Pantheon type quarterback. But I mean, what more do you need to see? What more info do you need for him to show you that he's capable enough and good enough of a quarterback to win games and be a Super Bowl contender? You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker think that just because somebody lost this one particular game that he can't win it down. Like, look at John Elway. Not comparing John Elway to Jimmy G. I'm only just using this as an example. John Elway got to the Super Bowl 3 times, lost his first 3 Super Bowls, was getting blown out. You know what I'm saying? Lost his first 3 Super Bowls. It ended up winning his last 2. You know what I mean? And it's like the fact that he won his last 2, we all know about the first 3 that he got there and lost, but they don't even really get talked about like that because he won his last 2. You know what I'm saying? So just because we lost the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, or just because we lost that NFC Championship game with Jimmy G, that don't mean that we can't win it again, that we can't ultimately win it with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, but hey, they going in the direction they going, and I know what's gonna happen. These motherfuckers, y'all gonna eat shit, and y'all gonna wish y'all didn't talk shit about Jimmy G. Y'all gonna wish y'all cherished him and respected that man while he was here. But it is what it is. Anyway, that's the Super Bowl, and you know what I mean? That's what's going on with that. But the halftime show was lit, though, man. I hear a lot of people say, oh, the halftime show is better than the actual game. This and that, blah, blah. Motherfuckers always be trying to put the 2 on the 10. Halftime show was dope. The game was dope, too, though. You know what I'm saying? Everything was dope. It ain't got to be, you got to big up the halftime show to shit on the actual game. Everything about the whole production was dope. You know what I mean? Everything about the whole, Super Bowl Sunday to me is always dope. You know what I'm saying? Just the way they be putting that shit together, man. And it's a worldwide event. You know what I mean? It's an American event, but it's a worldwide event. It's broadcasted all around the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's a big stage, and man, Snoop and Dre coming out. I mean, from the dribble, off the dribble, with the stage coming up and Dr. Dre sitting behind the shit, whatever. From the dribble, that thing was epic. And then you had Snoop coming out, cripped out, all blued out. You know what I mean? Throwing up the set at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Throwing up Crip at the Super Bowl. Like, that shit crazy, bro. When you really think about it. Like, that nigga is one of the most American, PC'd up Uncle Tom ass type of event. It's a family event, basically. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody watching. That nigga up there gang banging, you know what I mean? Set tripping on stage, throwing up Crip. So I love to see it, though. I love to see it, you know what I mean? So that was dope. 50, like, that shit was monumental, bro, because what it does is it's a nostalgia moment, but it just lets you know, like for one, Dr. Dre being the conductor of the shit, and then all the dope artists that then came up under him, from Snoop to M, you know what I mean, to Kendrick to 50, like, you know what I mean? And that's just to, it just, you know, and these is all, you know, monumental, legendary artists. You know what I mean? Like, so, you know what I mean? They hit songs, they hit records, all the feedback that I seen on everything, all over social media, from people I talk to, is that was a, yeah, that was a go. You know what I mean? Like that was the one right there. You feel me? With the Super Bowl halftime show, 50 did his thing in the club. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, in the rap game, 50 is a legend, but everybody don't have the whole, you know, the Jay-Z longevity as far as like that dude. 50 is always that dude, but his peak, you know what I mean, his peak in rap, you know, probably has passed somewhat, you know what I mean, but I think he kind of allowed for that to happen, you know what I mean, because he came out so legendary, and then he doing other shit now, you know what I mean, he got the TV shit going, but I think he, yeah, you know, it was, he had one or two albums there that was like, all right, it's kind of like the I think, what is Animal Ambition, the Animal Ambition album. I think that was his last album on Shady Aftermath, Interscope and shit. That album wasn't, you know, 50 Cent is one of my favorite rappers of all time. That album wasn't so hot. You know what I mean? You know, every album always got a song or two on there, but it was a precipitous drop from from the Get Rich or Die Trying and Massacre days. You know what I'm saying? Even Curtis. You know what I'm saying? Even Curtis, his third album. You know what I mean? That was a dope album. Not as classic, obviously, as Get Rich or Die Trying or the Massacre, but it was still a good album too. But like after that, you know, kind of, you know, but I say that to say people forget his impact on the game. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that everybody forget, but some, you know, with the new generation of rappers and all that shit, like 50 really did. 50 was really that nigga. 50 was really that you know what I mean, that bully of the rap game. You know what I mean? And it's something to be said about that. You know what I mean? 50 Cent deserves a lot more respect as one of the all-time great, you know what I mean, for one of the all-time great New York rappers, but definitely one of the and also one of the all-time great MCs, period. You know what I mean? For the impact that he made on the culture. You know what I mean? So it was dope to see 50 out there. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good look for him to remind motherfuckers. I'm that nigga. Y'all did y'all forget who the fuck I am? Nigga, I'm 50 Cent, nigga. G-Unit, nigga. You know what I mean? Them niggas, 50 Cent had one of the most illest hip hop come outs ever. They like 50 Cent was just like '02, like 2002, 2003, 2004. Like, stop it. It was over. It was a wrap. It was nothing moving. You know what I mean? From like '02 to '05. That was all 50 and G Unit. You know what I mean? Shady Aftermath as a whole. You know what I mean? But you know what I mean? You know, it wasn't nothing else moving. And what kind of switched it maybe a little bit, Kanye kind of did that. Kanye is the one that kind of like not just him, but you know what I mean, I give him a lot of credit for being one of the ones for rappers like myself. You know what I mean? Because I'm from the streets, from the hoods, all that, and you know what I mean, so dope, all type of shit. You feel me? But I'm still not like, you know, not like yo, what you would want to call like your typical like gangster rappers. It's a little more I'm a little bit more broad with my range, you know what I'm saying? And Kanye kind of made it to where, you know what I mean, MCs like me could exist, you know what I mean? Could always exist. I mean, I exist regardless. But the fact that you could, you know what I mean, you ain't have to act like you were so hard and this, and you know, you ain't have to do all that. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of, you know, once Kanye came, it kind of, but it was good to see 50 out there, you know what I'm saying, doing his thing, and just reminding motherfuckers like, yeah, y'all must have forgot I was that, you know, not I was, I'm that boy. I'm that boy, the kid 50 Cent, you know what I'm saying? Ferrari F50. Fuck you talking about, nigga. 50 the one that started the whole mixtape shit, niggas rapping over other niggas beats and going crazy and all that shit. Nigga, 50 the one that made that popular. I'm not saying he the first one to do it, he the one that made it popular though. You know what I'm saying? After he got shot, you know what I mean? 2000, 2001. 50 went crazy. That's something that I can go back and listen to all the mixtapes, all them 50, you know, Guess Who's Back, the Guess Who's Back mixtape, what else? Who else? I forget the names of the mixtapes, but I got all of them, nigga. You feel me? I got all of them. You know what I'm saying? That's when it was Tony Yayo, Lloyd Banks, and 50 Cent doing their thing before Young Buck. You know what I mean? And Game. But it was good to see 50 out there, man. You know what I mean? I mean, he kind of, you know, he's a beef rapper. He beef with a lot of MCs. And so as he's been gotten older and stuff, he still got his core beefs and shit, but he don't just beef with everybody just to beef like that no more. He's grown up in that sense. But I mean, don't, you know, it can still go up now. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? But I think, you know, kind of some of that they always talk about, you know, man, 50 ain't got no friends, he ain't got no industry friends, he ain't got no rap friends. So who the fuck, you know what I mean? And for one, he do, but for two, who gives a fuck even if he don't? I ain't coming to this motherfucker trying to be you niggas friends. You feel me? I came to this motherfucker to make my mark, be legendary, be one of or the greatest of all time, and make a shitload of a ton of money while doing it. You know what I mean? Bat you niggas in the mouth. That's what the fuck I came in the motherfucking rap game to do. Let you niggas know I'm here. So, yeah, man, 50 is that nigga, man. So it's good to see him out there. Mary J, you know what I mean? The queen herself. Love to see her out there as well doing anything. The whole thing, man. And then, you know, Mary J just, you know, just legendary. You know what I mean? Not, you know, she wasn't like never up under like the Aftermath umbrella, you know what I mean? So to speak. But she was, you know, frequent collaborator with Dr. Dre, you know what I mean? One of her most hit records is produced by Dr. Dre. Let's get it drunk on the See, me as a producer, I listen to all of that. I'm a rapper too, but as a producer, I'm listening to the music, man. That music just, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so it made sense for Mary J to be there as well. She done a lot of shit with 50. She done a lot of shit with Dre. I believe, you know what I mean? She probably, I don't know if she's collaborated with Kendrick yet, but it's, you know, it's the same umbrella. Eminem, you know what I mean? And M.A. So Mary J done her thing too. And it was good to have a female presence there as well. Eminem he's just iconic, bro. You know what I mean? Eminem just there's nothing else to be said, man. It's Eminem, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's Eminem. My two greatest rappers of all time goes Tupac 1, Eminem number 2. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is for me. Eminem is he's an icon, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's y'all seen the reaction when he came. Everybody got a dope reaction. Everybody. But Eminem came, you know what I mean? You know, the reaction, you know, got a little bit more, you know what I'm talking about? So that was dope. That was definitely dope, man. And Kendrick, 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 like my generation represent. You know what I'm saying? My generation, like Kendrick is like what like I said, I'm not trying to, I hadn't made it to the highest of the heights of the hip hop game, but for me, like that's my generation. That's Kendrick is like a peer. You know what I'm saying? So it was good to see somebody from from my generation holding it down, and Kendrick would be that one. And then it was dope that Anderson .Paak was up there playing the drums, though. You know what I mean? Like Anderson .Paak, Anderson .Paak is super dope, super fucking dope. You know what I mean? Like that, like I'm a rapper, I'm an MC, so I like to listen to rappers. So but I listen to all type of music, you know what I'm saying? But I like to but when I'm listening to rap, I like to hear rappers. Anderson .Paak is a more, alternative type of rap, you know what I mean? So I wouldn't really listen to like a lot of his songs or albums, you know what I'm saying, per se, but I recognize how dope and how talented he is as a musician just overall, and I totally recognize why Dr. Dre has him around. You know what I mean? Because Anderson .Paak I didn't even know the nigga played drums like that. You know what I mean? I knew he was, I know he sing, rap, and play some instrument. I didn't know it was the drums too. But Anderson .Paak, it was dope to see him up there too. Yeah, Anderson .Paak is he's one of the dopest, talented artists, musicians in the game, hands down. You know what I'm saying? Period, point blank. So. And maybe if I listen to his music more, because I'm not going front, I haven't heard, I've heard his music, but I had, I know he got the Silk Sonic thing going on with Bruno Mars and shit. That's the type of shit that I see it and it's creative and I respect it. You know what I mean? And I love it from that standpoint of, you know what I mean, he doing his thing. You know what I mean? Like I want to be in a band and shit like that myself. You know what I mean? But and kind of like a a hip hop rock kind of band. You know what I'm saying? But I respect it. But that's the type of stuff. Like I don't really listen to all that, but I know he got his rap shit too. You know what I mean? Because he fuck with Busta. Busta is another one that could have like been up there. You know what I mean? He was actually on Aftermath, and he got an extensive relationship with 50, M, Dre, Mary J. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Anderson .Paak. He was in the crowd at the Super Bowl. He could have been up there. You know what I mean? He could have been up there. So, but everybody can date that. The artist that was up there, now don't get me, I'm not saying Busta Rhymes he's another one that I feel like give him more credit as an all-time MC. Straight up, like Busta Rhymes is one of them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like I fuck with Busta. He one of them niggas that I ride around listening to his shit. You know what I mean? As an MC, because he's just dope as fuck. But so this ain't to disparage him, but I'm saying everybody that was on that stage, is bona fide. Without and I shouldn't even say that. Busta Rhymes is bona fide, bro, without a doubt, like bona fide. So I'm not saying he's not bona fide, but I'm saying Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Mary J. Blige, 50 Cent, Kendrick Lamar. That's and this will let you know kind of like that like 50 Cent was a special guest. He was like a you know what I mean, like probably like a nigga that kind of like probably like barely made it, you know what I mean, to the, you know what I mean, but that shows you how like the impact that you had to have 50 there though, because the impact that he had coming into the game that bolstered not only Shady Records but Aftermath as well. Not that they needed it, because they was already hot at that time. You know what I mean? Like Eminem obviously should be thankful to Dr. Dre, but Dr. Dre can be thankful for Eminem too, because Eminem is the artist, the rapper that really took Aftermath to and gave Eminem basically gave Dr. Dre his third and fourth win. You know what I mean? He had the first win within NWA, and then his second win, you know what I mean? When I say win, not W-I-N, I mean W-I-N-D. You know what I mean? He had his second wind, you know what I mean, with Death Row. And then, you know, he did the Aftermath thing. And it kind of started out kind of, you know, not, at least not for me, but, you know, I'm a kid at that time. But, you know, it didn't start, like, I was always going to be a fan. But just as far as the, you know, he did the you know, Dre did the, they did the Fern thing with AZ and Nas and Foxy Brown. And that had dope music on there. I'm talking about dope. I mean, that shit got slept on, but it didn't perform well. You know what I'm saying? It didn't do well or whatever. And then you know, a couple other, you know, I think he had another little project that he did, the Aftermath Presents and all that other shit. That didn't really do well. And then he put out Eminem. And then boom, he took off again. You know what I mean? But they both could thank each other, because Dr. Dre put M on, and M took Aftermath, you know, put it into the stratosphere. But basically 50 Cent kind of like did not, it's not the same, because, you know, at that time Shady and Aftermath was already, you know, they didn't need to be, it was basically 50 Cent going to Shady Aftermath was basically like Kevin Durant coming to the Warriors. Like the Warriors was already a championship team. So M and Dre together was already a championship team. But then you add KD, then you add 50 Cent. Oh, now they out of there. So 50's impact and just that energy, you know what I mean, and that he brought to that camp. I mean, he had to be there. You know what I mean? He you know, he had to at least be there to perform in the club. In the club is one of the, I mean, that's one of the biggest hip hop records of all time. You know what I'm saying? It's one of the biggest records of all time, period. But definitely, you know, one of the top hip hop records of all time, bro. So, but yeah, it was dope. The whole halftime show was dope. I haven't watched it again a second time. I'm finna go probably watch it again a second time right now. You know what I'm saying? After I get off this live, I'm finna go do that. You know what I'm saying? And then yeah, from there, man, that's basically it. But yeah, I had to do 2 parts for the Super Bowl, because, you know what I'm saying, my shit cut off on me earlier. But yeah, the halftime show was bananas, and that's gonna set the bar. And I think you know, Jay-Z had a hand in that. You know what I mean? Jay-Z had a hand in that performance happening. It was in LA. He was only right. And all of these niggas is already fucking, everybody that was on that stage was already an icon. And now to perform at the Super Bowl is like, that just put them in a whole different stratosphere than they already was. You know what I mean? Because now the day after is like, all the buzz is just like them niggas could drop anything right now, and that shit gonna just sell through the roof, my nigga. Just cause the energy off that Super Bowl performance yesterday was just through the roof. So yeah, man. And then shit for me, hey, I was eating good. We was over there cooking, you know what I mean? Barbecue. I got barbecue galore in the house, you know what I'm saying? So, hey, Super Bowl was dope to me, you know. Wish my Niners could have been there, but it is what it is. You feel me? We'll see what happens next year. Now, my full attention goes to the NBA and my Golden State Warriors. Baseball is on strike. MLB is on strike. I don't give a fuck about them though. I already said in my go check out my my Barry Bonds Hall of Fame episode that I did a few weeks ago. Baseball is a joke to me. I don't even want to give them no coverage or nothing at all. Until, if y'all not gonna put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame, please. I'm not even thinking about not baseball, not the game, but the MLB. You know what I'm saying? I got no problem with the actual game of baseball, but the corporation that is Major League Baseball, yeah, nah, I can't fuck with them. In the Baseball Hall of Fame, nah, Cooperstown. I can't do it. Can't fuck with them. I can't even believe I'm talking about them right now. It's too much coverage I'm giving they bitch ass right now. So, but that's it, man. Super Bowl was dope. You feel me? The 2022 season starts now. You know what I mean? Last season is over now. It's all done. It's all over now. So it's all about what's gonna happen going forward. But yeah, man, I just had to do this part 2. You know what I mean? Just to wrap up and put a bow, a ribbon, you know what I'm saying, on this motherfucking Super Bowl 56 episode. Snax on Sports. I'll be back with another one. Gone.